Hey engagement fans, welcome back to the Engagement Studio. I'm Ann Maltese and I lead our Insights team here at Quantum Workplace. Today I have a very special guest with me, Paul Gomez. Paul is the Director of Organizational Development at Children's Mercy, Kansas City. Thanks for joining us today, Paul.
Thanks, Ann. It's a pleasure to be here.
We had Paul join us today because Children's Mercy is doing some really interesting things when it comes to empowering managers, especially around employee engagement and employee performance. So Paul, let's start off by talking about why it's so important to have empowered managers.
Thanks, Ann. So first, I think I would emphasize the role that managers play inside an organization and really being that frontline connection for employees to the organization, both in terms of its mission as well as the goals of the organization. And so really creating that personal connection for people to their workplace, I think is a critical element of a manager's role.
Yeah, that is something that we really believe too. So at Children's Mercy, have you seen an impact from empowering your managers?
Absolutely. I think those managers that really create that environment for employees to be their best version of themselves helps produce better business outcomes. But you can really see a difference when a manager takes the time and invests the time in their people to really create that connection to the organization and what we're trying to accomplish as a whole.
Definitely. So we've talked about why it's important and the impact that it's had, but I'm sure our viewers are curious about tips. Do you have any kind of actionable advice for our viewers on how to empower managers?
Absolutely, and I think one of the first things that's really important is to really help a leader understand what the nature of their job is. It's really quite a different expectation that we have of our leaders when they're leaders of other people. It's different than being an individual contributor and really helping them understand those differences and those nuances because it's a pretty significant shift of responsibility. So number one. Number two then is really creating a space where leaders have the time to be great people leaders. I really believe that sometimes we burden leaders with so many responsibilities, whether it's budget or projects or staff meetings, whatever the case may be, that we leave them very little time to actually go and be great people leaders. So really creating the space for time is number two. I think the third thing then is the conscious development of leaders to keep their skill set current, to keep them developing, to really help them understand who they are as a leader, like what their strengths are, what their development needs are, and really spending time making sure that you are cultivating really great leaders. Mm-hmm.
Those are great tips and simple but fundamental and so important. So thank you for sharing those today.
Absolutely.
So that's a wrap on our tips for empowering your managers. Thanks for joining us today. Now let's go make work better every day.